Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspective. We'll be talking about the resurgence that we've seen as far as the PML N is concerned. Also, of course, we now know what's happening as far as the elections are concerned. There are a lot that is being said about the future of the political parties and how things are going to look in the next elections now that we're very close to the next elections, the next general elections. What shape will the parliament take? What kind of political party makeup are we going to be looking at as far as the next elections are concerned, with new political parties, also with the kind of headway that is the PPP trying to make as far as Punjab is concerned? What's going to happen? Of course, the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's return, and whether that is likely or not. What can we expect in the next couple of weeks? We'll be talking about all of that. A little later on, we'll also be talking about the KPK, of course, the show cause notice that the former CM Parvez Khattak received from the PTI as far as a political, taking different political electables perhaps to other political parties, all of that and the ramifications of that as far as the party makeup in KPK is concerned a little later on. I have with me Dr. Abid Abbasi, who's a political analyst. Thank you for being with us today. We also have with us Rana Maqbool Ahmad, who is Senator, of course, with PML N. Thank you for being with us. Hassan Khan, who's a senior journalist. Thank you for joining us. And Lehaz Ali later on, who is also a journalist. Ji, Abid, like I was saying, you know, we have been talking about this for a time as far as the political party makeup in Punjab also, and overall the shape this elections, the general elections will take after you know, the votes are in, and what will happen. How do you look at this now? Of course, there's another new political party also, and they're also gearing for inroads in Punjab. We're also seeing PPP, Zardari Sahab particularly, with regard to the south. How do you look at things at this time?
Thank you very much, Mahrukh. Yes, you have said, but first we should hope and we should wish that elections would take place on the given time, that is the constitutional term that is being ended in September, and October is the due date for the elections. And in Punjab, that the situation is emerging that after the establishment of Istikam-e-Pakistan party, they are actually the turncoats of PTI, and some of the stalwarts of PTI, they have played a very important role in 2013, then when the PTI was in making, that was being shaped for the elections. For instance, Jahangir Khan Tareen and Aleem Khan, they have been considered as the investors even. They were spending a huge in terms of financial resources, and also taking the electables from various parts of Punjab within PTI. We should remember an interview of Jahangir Tareen. He said that in 2013 elections we could not get the desired results. Some of the parties, the candidates were at number 3, number 4 and number 5, and then we decided to bring electables in the party. And if the Istikam-e-Pakistan party, IPP, that couldn't play so much well in Punjab, but they bring definitely some dent within the PTI cycle, because the most of the people, they are the stalwarts of PTI, former the stalwarts, now they are in Istikam-e-Pakistan party. And as the elections would come closer, the date of the election would come closer, then we can see that either they are going to have some seat adjustment with the
But as far as
PML
Punjab is concerned, I want to particularly talk about, of course we'll be talking about KP also later on, but as far as Punjab particularly is concerned, of course it becomes the center of a lot of political activity. It's also said that it determines what eventually happens, which way it will fall into which particular party. I want to come to that. I want to particularly talk about, of course, the recent jalsas we've seen. Maryam Nawaz also, she's the launch of the campaign as far as the PML N is concerned for a while now. and what effects that will have. Let me come back to you. I'm going to go to Rana Saab. Ji, Rana Saab, what is happening as far as the PML N is concerned? Are you all set for the next elections? Do you expect them to be at the requisite time? Do you also expect the Mian Nawaz Sharif Saab to return before the elections?
My profound regards to the honorable compeer of the program and to other participants. Yes, the voters of Muslim League, they are fish out of water and waiting for the leader. And I tell you, it would be a breath of fresh air for the party. And they are looking up to his arrival, and you will feel the change. Despite all inadequacies, all hindrances, and the hardships the party has been undergoing, and the challenges with which party is confronted, especially in the world of economy and political stability. These are the main two challenges, and I personally think they will be competently addressed. More so, the credibility gap and the confidence crisis, if at all there was some cracks as far as this aspect of political romance is concerned, that will also be repaired. I tell you, romance I've used intentionally because voter of Muslim League, they are not only the voters of Mian Nawaz Sharif, their Qaid, they have a real romance with him. Despite all difficulties they have been undergoing and all predicaments they have faced, they'll be assuringly they'll be supporting PML N. Mariam Nawaz factor is very important, and she has been trying and endeavoring competently to keeping the issue alive with the people. And you might, despite different analysts saying that the Muslim League's popularity has gone down, you might have observed the turnover of the people, despite all difficulties, despite this skyrocketing prices. The people are there.
Also, as far as the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif Saab is concerned, there is, as far as there's little doubt about his popularity and his status, even, as far as the PML N is concerned. I think we've had this conversation before also, that he is the PML N for all intents and purposes, and that is not to erode the popularity of his very charismatic daughter, Mariam Nawaz. But as far as these new political parties are concerned, of course they do come up from time to time, that is what is being said, but what is, do you feel that there's going to be, of course there's going to be some inroads as far as with Jahangir Khan Tareen as far as the South is concerned, or are you looking at the PPP also trying to get some seats there? How do you look at that?
I personally think there will be emergence of new combination and permutations as far as the political parties, newly born political parties are concerned. Nothing can be said at this stage because time is not ripe for that. There will be a lot of communications between the parties, and maybe there is a situation of some seat adjustment with some parties. So far, no decision has been taken and no outline has been chalked out for this purpose. But I think if at all, Istakam Pakistan Party does participate, it will be having sporadic effect as far as the election results are concerned. I'm not very positive about that they can sweep the elections.
About what will happen as far as the PTI is concerned. What do you expect from them? Let me come back on that. Abid Saab, what do you think will happen? The same question from you as far as the former Prime Minister and his party, PTI, is concerned. There is, still there's as far as his cult following is concerned. Do you think that there is a dent there? What is your overall feeling?
Yes, but there are still so many things to be happen because there are very serious cases against him. In some cases, according to the law experts, they are open and shut cases. Most probably, he would be behind the bars or in the jail in some cases, or convictions are taking place against him. And secondly, most probably the party would be banned because there are some very serious allegations regarding May 9 what happened in the country, the attack on the.
But there are statements from Rana, for example, saying that if the former Prime Minister is disqualified, Shah Mahmood Qureshi will head that party. Do you see that happening?
He is actually vice chairman of the party, and if the things go smoothly, definitely he would be the chairman of the party. But I don't see anything, very drastical sort of response from the people in Punjab, because there are so many factors. It is not only the cult following that plays an important role in the elections. There are so many other factors, the Bradari factors, the management of media and through other ways.
What about the former President Zardari factor?
Zardari is also striving, Zardari Sahib is also striving in Punjab and Pakistan People's Party. We should not forget that in 2018 elections, most of the members, most of the voters of Pakistan People's Party, they actually joined hands with the PTI and they supported the PTI candidates against, because PML N and Pakistan People's Party has conventionally been rivals, in Pakistan, particularly in Punjab as well. And most of the, stalwarts, most of the electables, most of the candidates of PPP, they join hands with PTI, and for that matter, their voters also, against PMLN supported PTI. If the People's Party is playing some sort of good role in Punjab, they can muster the support of the people. They can also have a very good juncture, as far as my analysis is concerned. They can play good in the southern part of Punjab and even central Punjab, even some of the seats in central Punjab. And People's Party would be a player in Punjab, if not the number two or sort of the bigger player, but they would be a player in Punjab, and they could get the support from the various constituencies in Punjab. So secondly, I would say that there would not be a clear-cut majority. Obviously, the PML N is the biggest force in Punjab, or if we should not forget that in 2018 elections, that was very controversial election when the all the state instruments were behind the PTI to bring them into power. The PMLN was the second largest party, rather the single largest party in Punjab as far as the votes are concerned, their seats are concerned, but they were not given this opportunity to form the government in Punjab. The southern Punjab Mahaz, Janubi Punjab Suba Mahaz, that was also forced to join PTI. There were so many independent candidates, they were forced by various quarters of power to join PTI, and that government was installed in 2018. Even at that time, the PMLN was the largest party in Punjab. So that the support is there. Obviously, there are some difficulties for them as far as the price hike is concerned, as far as the financial issues are concerned, the economic situation in the country. But we have heard from some quarters that there is a likelihood, close likelihood to get a deal with IMF either in 2 days or 3 days. The things would be better. PMLN would also play very well. And after the acquaintance of Nawaz Sharif, after his return into the politics legally, as we have seen.
We've seen, of course, the bill also now
bill
passed.
that was passed, and PML, Rana Sahib has also mentioned, and I would second him, that Nawaz Sharif is actually the key factor. Nawaz Sharif is actually, PMLN is actually Nawaz Sharif. And when Nawaz Sharif would be in the country and he would be addressing to the gatherings, to the public jalsas in Punjab, that would be a very, considerable difference before the arrival of Nawaz Sharif and after the arrival of Nawaz Sharif. There would be a very considerable difference to muster the support of the classical PML and voters in Punjab.
Rana Sahib, what about as far as Nawaz Sharif Sahib is concerned, certainly his voter base is there, but what about at this time the difficulties that, of course, economic difficulties that currently your economic team, also the finance minister, as a whole Pakistan is embroiled in? That's a challenge for the PMLN, because certainly your party is at the forefront of it.
No, that is there. You are absolutely right. There are difficulties, there are challenges. But there is little progress as well. Not many initiatives are being taken simultaneously, and especially when Mia Nawaz returns, it will be a sea change as far as the effectiveness of the policy is concerned, because he has a lot of goodwill abroad as well, and you will see our friends, the friendly nations coming forward for investments. That is already in the air, and people are fully aware of the developments. And there are certain steps already taken. You might have not heard any time in history of Pakistan and Iran that the Prime Minister of Pakistan and President of Iran, they get together on the borders and go for opening markets on the border and going to go for launch of barter system programs. And in the barter system, the main commodity, which is always a pain in the neck for Pakistanis, that is petroleum goods. So you can import petroleum goods as far as this barter system is concerned. That is a great initiative. More so, gas you'll be getting shortly from Iran. So there are a host of tankers and the cargoes coming of LNG from the Central Asia and petroleum coming from Russia. These are all new dimensions of the development. And I personally think once the main thing is the confidence of the market. Once there is stability and these initiatives are properly consolidated shortly, which will be, I think there'll be a change and change in the hearts of the people, and they'll be feeling satisfied. And the credibility of the system and the predictability vis-a-vis the system, the certainty is the real essence of the economic development and the progress of the country. That will be, inshallah, regained shortly.
Do you expect Mia Nawaz Sharif Saab to return very soon?
Yes, within weeks. Maybe on 14th of August, maybe a little late, 1 or 2 weeks. So everything is tied up except for, you might have come to know about the constitution of the teams. Just there's only one thing, is one case which is there in the High Court, Islamabad. That issue is to be addressed, otherwise mist is absolutely clear. You have already mentioned the amendment in the Election Act 2017, ensuring that the conviction under 62(1)(f) will not be more than 5 years. So that is already over. So his
elections on
qualification for elections, that there will not be embargo on that. As far as case in the Islamabad High Court is concerned, that is to be argued finally. But I was there sitting once the final decision about Mariam's case was given. They are very clear. The judges are very clear about the innocence of Nawaz Sharif, especially that para which I have been mentioning to you as well, written by Mr. Bashir, para number 172 page, where he says that there is no tangible and incriminating evidence against Mia Nawaz Sharif and Mariam Nawaz as far as corruption and corrupt practices is concerned. Therefore, I acquit them. This is what the order of the judge is, which is lined with the High Court. So I think there is a lot of substance for his innocence, and he'll be acquitted, inshallah. And there will be no difficulty for him to contest the elections
and lead the party. Do you expect the elections to be on time?
Yes, so far there is a decision, and as far as the signals which the party is receiving, they're already in a state of making preparations for elections. And all the cadres of the party, they have been asked to make full preparations.
What about seat adjustment? Initially, of course, there was it was said that you might, as far as with Jahangir Khan Tareen's party, there might be some seat adjustment there. Do you expect that to happen? Or with the PPP, what is the overall makeup like?
That may happen, but as far as the preliminary parlays are concerned, those have not been launched so far. Maybe, I don't know whether the People's Party leadership, they go over to Mia Nawaz Sharif in Dubai once he's staying there. Maybe they go for the futuristic policies and sort of the policies. But as far as the main parties are concerned, they have a resolve not to lock horns like they used to do previously. Everything is to be decided with total understanding and amity. So I think something good will come out. and the final conclusion will be conducive towards peaceful and fair elections. And of course, whosoever wins in the election, he'll form the government.
Do you think that the PTI, are there chances that it might be banned as a party? How do you look at the situation?
The present situation, I may apprise you, there is no such intention of the government party to do it so far. The main emphasis is on this stance of the government, that whosoever is guilty may not be spared at all, and whosoever is innocent may not be touched even with a long pole. So the main focus is on the prosecuting the genuine accused and the genuine culprits who committed such a heinous crime of waging the war against the country and against the armed forces, which is unpardonable. But as far as the main thinking of the party is concerned, that we should not ban the political party, and maybe the lower rungs of the party, they take over the party and they participate in the politics in a healthy manner, unlike their leader, who was a bull in China shop and who have been always creating unnecessary trouble for himself and for the party and for the nation, being a terribly idiosyncratic character.
Okay, let me come back to you. Abid sir, do you think that, if whether the party is banned or if it's Rana sir is saying there's little chance of that, even if it's not banned overall, as far as, the legal process is concerned, even yesterday we saw Nawaz Sharif sir being acquitted in a case, and we've seen different acquittals. It raises a lot of questions on the overall legal process of our country, and it has for a while, which is of course linked to political activities also. And how do you look at that? That, of course now it's quite clear how it happened, why it happened, the way that, certain decisions now it seems were motivated. And how much confidence do you think a normal person would have in this kind of a legal system that is now unfolding in front of us?
Unfortunately, there was no considerable confidence of the common people in our judicial system, because our judiciary has been, indulged itself in so many controversial kind of things. We should not forget that how Nawaz Sharif was acquitted from the politics, how he was banned, that was also a very controversial way. The case was taken up as the Panama case, and he was banned in another case that was the Akama of his son. And everybody knows that at that time it was a maneuvered decision. It was actually a forced decision against him. A sitting prime minister, was sent to home, and this is not for the first time that took place, because previously we have seen that unfortunately the role of our supreme judiciary has never been an ideal role for the sake of justice. The one prime minister was hanged in the hands of judiciary. The another prime minister, who was unanimously elected from the parliament, he was given a punishment of 35 seconds, till the adjournment of the court, and he was sent to the home in a very controversial manner. It is not a joke that elected prime minister of 22 crore people was sent by the judiciary to home. But yes, even today. But if we go through the cases of the former the prime minister, the PTI chairman, those cases are this very open and shut cases. For particularly the Al Qadar trust case that has been proved. There are so many things come on surface. Similarly, the foreign funding case, that people do not pay that much weight to that case, but that's a very serious case against him. About 34 accounts have been identified by the State Bank of Pakistan that has not been mentioned in their documents submitted to the Election Commission. Then there are so many other cases, and if the judiciary and we should keep in mind that this judiciary is not very much favorable for the ruling coalition. There are so many controversial role by some of the judges in the Supreme Judiciary, in favor of the former Prime Minister and against the the ruling, the stance of the ruling, this coalition. But even then, I don't see that PTI could play a considerable role in Punjab in coming elections, because there are so many hot waters.
Do you
there
expect
are so
there to
many
be more defections?
what rest with them? There are so many defections already. Hundreds of people have left, and that saga is continued even today. Or most probably, with every passing day, there more people would be leaving, because now that ticket of PTI is not that much charming as it was.
The former Prime Minister is saying that it is because, not out of free will. That is his narrative.
It is his narrative, but how people, there's such huge people. It means there are so many weak people. We have seen in Pakistan the MRD movement. There were so many atrocities meted by the people of the Pakistan People's Party, but they did not leave their party. Similarly, when Nawaz Sharif was ousted from the, the Prime Minister house, there were so many pressures. There were so many sort of, hardships faced by the people, but even we haven't seen even a single considerable person from PML N in Punjab turn over his or her coat to PTI or any other. But the politics in Pakistan is not an easy task. There are so many pressures, there are so many hardships. When you are not clean, when you are not having, and this was, by the way, I'm quoting the former Prime Minister, the PTI chairman, because I have not done something wrong, so I have no problem with the state institution. But the time has proved. But there are so many cases. The people who, initially they were saying that they are going to quit the politics because, and the May 9th, the incident that is also unprecedented in Pakistan, when they not only waged a war against the state institution, but they have just, they have just, ruined the monuments of the Shuhada who have been defending this country, and that was unprecedented. The state of a fascist, sort of action was taken by the PTI, and obviously the pressure would come, because even today there are no, such considerable vices in media. I'm not saying that unanimously, but there are not considerable vices, in media. They are blaming that they are.
No, there's an across-the-board agreement about what happened on May 9th, that it is unprecedented and that it should be condemned on all fronts. That's what everyone is saying. But as far as the former Prime Minister is concerned, as far as his party is concerned, do you think, at the army, there are statements as far as him being tried under the Army Act? If that was to follow, if that does indeed happen, do you see that, of course it will be a much speedier trial, and we will see whatever happens unfolding, in a more speedy manner than we do with our normal justice system?
If you attack the state institutions, the army installations, the army areas within the GHQ, within the corps commandos, so definitely the cases would be, carried out in the military courts, because that is a prerogative in the Constitution. That is written in the Constitution, that such kind of cases would be tried in the military courts, and that is in the Constitution, because we have seen even during the Imran Khan's tenure, the PTI chairman's tenure in power for about 4 years, about 27 civilians were tried in the military courts. So it is not unprecedented, and this sort of, the magnitude of those cases were not as the PTI people attacked the military installations in GHQ, in the Corps Commander House, and other, the monuments of the martyrs of the, army. And this is unprecedented, and there is a justification for their cases to be tried within the military courts.
And of course, there is an appellate jurisdiction and an appeal process that will
that is there. That is there. Look, because if we quote the instance of United States of America, when the people who were protesting, they attacked their sort of state institutions, they were tried very speedily, and they were convicted, and they were given the the punishments accordingly.
Right. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for this segment. We'll come back after a short break to talk about what's happening as far as the KP is concerned, as far as the show cause notice to the former CM is concerned, and what shape the political parties will take as far as KP itself is concerned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We'll be talking about the KP and the position there. Of course, we've also seen the show cause notice being given to Pervez Khattak, the former CM in KP, and what it means for the overall party and its position as far as PTI is concerned, as far as KP is concerned. Are they going to be, as far as defections are concerned, as far as the overall morale of the party and its people are concerned? All of that we have with us Hassan Khan, who's a senior journalist. Thank you for joining us. Hassan, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hassan, what is the situation in KP now as far as PTI is concerned? As far as, of course, we know about the show cause notice and the fact that, it is being alleged that the former Prime Minister is asking or exhorting people away from the party. But what is the overall position?
Look, at the moment, I think unlike Punjab, where the PTI leaderships are coming out of the jails and just going and doing the press conferences, however, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the situation is a bit different. So for major defections not happen in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the leadership of the PTI, it is intact. Mostly they are in jail or in prison. And those who are out, they are in hiding. And especially, as you mentioned in your intro about the show cause notice issued to Pervez Khattak, I think that I don't see it will have any major impact on it, because already Pervez Khattak has somehow decided and he is searching for a position in other parties. There are reports that he has approached the Jamiat Ulama-e-Islam, he has approached even the Pakistan People's Party. And he doesn't have, I think, any future. He don't see any. Pervez Khattak is a very shrewd politician. He has been through most of the parties. Like he was initially, he started from the Pakistan People's Party, then he shifted to the Pakistan People's Party Sherpa group, who now it's turned out to be the Qawmi Watan Party. And later on, he became an independent. So mostly he remained in the government, whether it was the People's Party government, whether it was the ANP government, whether it was the JUI government. So mostly he remained in government, so he knows how to adjust himself. So definitely he will try.
But Hassan, if people are choosing to leave a particular political party because they would no longer agree with its politics, or they no longer agree with the rationale behind what is being said, is it a necessary? Is it necessarily a sign of their shrewdness, or is it perhaps them choosing a different path? I want to come to this. Let me come back to you. I'm going to go to Dr. Abid with this. Abid sir, isn't it true? We were just talking about this. That I think we've earlier also talked about this. Whether politicians or electables, the phenomena of electables and how effective they are in a particular constituency, the work that they put in the constituency that they are in, and then they choose to align themselves with a political party. The fact that they choose to change course, or if they find themselves no longer agreeing. For example, we were just talking about May 9th. What happened on May 9th? A lot was said about the leadership itself. In some cases, people actually said that they did not agree with the kind of politics that the former Prime Minister was perpetrating, or they did not agree with the path that he was exhorting them on, or there was the kind of violence that followed was unprecedented. Is it necessarily wrong for people to choose a different path at this time?
Of course, they have their justified right. It is their fundamental right. Either they want to be in one party or the other party. The moral question can be, there. But we should not forget that how these people were brought into PTI. They were not actually the, very much ideologues, or they were having some sort of, they were from various parties, they were brought into PTI.
But
and now after
May
9th incident, they do not feel comfortable with the, former Prime Minister and the PTI chief. They have been, thinking for other resorts to get in. And as said, Hassan said that Pervez Khattak is, if I don't say shrewd, he is a smart politician. He has been the chief minister in KP, or he might be struggling to, enact a group of his own in the province to maneuver, or to get some sort of engagement with other political parties to get some share in the power.
That is what electables do in this country. This is what
it's not new.
Electoral politics is about, right?
Yeah, of course.
Let me come back to you. We have with us Lehaz Ali also, who's a journalist. Thank you for joining us. Ji, Lehaz, as far as KP is concerned, do you see perhaps new formations, new groups, new party formations, new allegiances there also?
Thank you. Actually, the KP politics a bit different from the politics of the other parts of the country. We are compared with the Sindh, so there is a different phenomena. In the Punjab, there is a different phenomena. In the KP, actually, the individual decided. There is no caste, there is no tribe, even there is no such other things. But the people have decided, and independently, the people are actually deciding the things. And this is the KP that who never, we can say, awarded the government to a party for the next time. But for the PTI, they awarded the government for the next time in 2018. But at the moment, round about 10 to 11 leaders, they are in prison. Mostly of the PTI leaders, they are hiding themselves. But still, we can say that PTI is one of the largest parties in the KP. And in the election in 2021 and 2022, the local government election, PTI proved that it is one of the largest party in the KP. And still we can say, but here is, we can say it's the headless. Because Parvez Khattak they have been issued a notice to the Parvez Khattak.
I want to come to that. He's a very, as far as the former CM himself is concerned, he's a very strong presence in the area. He has, his own people, he has his own following. If he chooses to go in another direction, will it be a huge blow for the PTI as a political party in KP?
Actually, the PTI is in the KP now, we can say it's a leaderless. You can know that Ali Amin Gandapur has been appointed as the president, but he is nowhere. He didn't issue a single, we can say, an audio or video to his worker. So the worker of the PTI, they are leaderless in the KP at the moment. So there is Pakistan Istehkam Party and the other parties. So the ANP having some presence in the central KP, the JY having a presence in the southern areas of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. But as compared to the PTI is still one of the largest party in the KP. As compared, we are going to compare it with the 2018 and 2021 and 22 local government election. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Let me go to Hassan with this. Hassan, according to Lehaz, he's saying that PTI is still one of the largest parties in KP. Again, the same question from you. If the former CM decides to go in another direction, how much of a blow will it be in KP itself? Because of course he has a following, he has his own people with him, he has electables also who are within his group also, who may choose to follow him.
Yeah. Look, there is no doubt in it that Parvez Khattak is a very smart politician. He has a following and he understands how to do politics. And he is already in contact. Just day before yesterday, I was talking to some of the senior leadership of the PTI in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and they also acknowledged that Parvez Khattak is trying to come up with his own group because now doing politics with PTI, it may not be. The reason is that especially the May 9 incident that has caused it a major blow. And definitely the PTI has also lost the narrative. So it's going to be, however, internally, so far as Lehaz has said, so far the leadership of the PTI, some are in jail and some are in hiding. But the major, what we call it, what happened in Punjab or in Karachi, that thing has so far not happened in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The reason is, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, politics is somehow, it is not, no doubt, as Lehaz said, it is not tribal. People are not going up to the tribal things or the Khans or the Nawabs or the Chaudhrys, etc. However, there is a tribalistic tendency, like if we leave the party at the moment, so people will say, oh yeah, he is not an honorable person. The reason is he has quit the party when they are in trouble. However, it doesn't mean that people are not leaving the PTI. People are trying to leave it, but they are searching for a proper, what you call it, proper position in other party, where to go and how to adjust. And I have personally talked to a number of PTI leaders. They are definitely trying to go somewhere, but the question is where to go. And then Parvez Khatak's enter. Parvez Khatak's come with a solution that he said that we will have our own group instead of joining the JUI, instead of joining the ANP, instead of joining the People's Party, where they will be hardly accepted for the reason of the
there
PTI.
to be perhaps another presence in KP, perhaps another party formation on the cards?
Yeah, that's what Parvez Khatak is trying to convince the PTI Pakhtunkhwa leadership, that instead of joining other, let's have our own group, you may call it. It may not be a party like the Istehkam, because this Pakistan Istehkam party, I don't see any future for it in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So far, they haven't tried to get out of the Lahore division. So it will be too much difficult for Aleem Khan and Jahangir Khan. Definitely, Jahangir Khan is a person who has a very strong influence in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa also. He's a very well-connected politician. But I don't think so that he's a vote grabber. He's not a person who will be followed by the voters, like the way Imran Khan, or the way Nawaz Sharif, the way Benazir Bhutto or Bilal Bhutto or the ANP peoples are being followed by the workers. Jahangir Khan will have to do a lot of work. But that's the reason, as I said, Parvez Khatak, instead of joining other parties, he has prepared, and now he is convincing his people that let's have our own group and we will go into the election with a different sort of a party. It may be a group within a PTI.
Let me go to Abid. Abid, what about the KP itself? Do you think that there probably a new party formation? Because, you know, if we talk about Istehkam Pakistan, it seems it doesn't have the kind of inroads in KP.
Yes, Hassan has very rightly said. But yes, I do agree with him as well that Parvez Khatak is a very, seasoned and very senior politician in KP, and he has done a lot of work to get so many people, joining him, or most probably that would be a PTI Hakiki or PTI Pashtun or whatever, but there would be a strong group as far as I foresee in KP under Parvez Khatak and his, comrades.
Right, fair enough. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. Thank you so much for being with us. Dr. Abid Abbasi, thank you for joining us. Rana, Maqbool, Ahmad, thank you for being with us. Hassan Khan, thank you for joining us. Lehaz Ali, thank you for your input. As far as the overall situation at this time is concerned, of course, the stage is set for the general elections very soon at this time, with the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif all set to return to take up the reins of his political party. He's very much the PML N, of course, other political parties with the PPP and Istehkam Pakistan. As far as the situation overall is concerned, certainly if we see the PTI also contesting, the stage is set for all a variety of political parties. Of course, at this time we feel, and it seems that the PML N certainly has an edge as far as overall politics at this time is concerned. But of course, we will know what happens as closer to the elections. Perhaps more alliances will follow. Perhaps more parties may even emerge. So it's too early to say what the final position will be like. Thank you so much for joining us today in First Look.